On June 11, 1994, Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale MKO Abiola stood before a determined crowd and declared himself the rightful president of Nigeria. His speech on that day is now known as the Epetedo Declaration. It was an audacious move, one that would set in motion a chain of events leading to his arrest, incarceration, and ultimately his mysterious death. But what exactly did Abiola say that made him a target? What was it about his speech that so rattled Nigeria's military dictatorship? Before that, let us navigate Abiola's political journey. Born on August 24, 1937 in Abeokuta, present-day Ogun State, Abiola was given the name Kashimawo, a Yoruba expression meaning "let's wait and see." His parents, having suffered the loss of previous children, withheld his formal naming until he turned 15. Signs of resilience and destiny marked his early years. His father's financial difficulties forced young Abiola to fend for himself at just 9 years old. To support his family, he began selling firewood. This experience instilled in him the value of hard work and self-reliance, principles that would make his remarkable journey. After completing his schooling, Abiola left home to work as a clerk at Barclays Bank in Ibadan, then the capital of Nigeria's western region. It was on the very day he secured this job that he suffered the devastating loss of his mother. From that moment, his determination to succeed became even stronger. Abiola's fortunes changed dramatically when he pursued higher education in Scotland. He became a chartered accountant at the University of Glasgow, acquiring the knowledge and skills that would propel him to global prominence. By 1966, he returned to Nigeria, eager to put his expertise to work. Over the next 2 decades, he built an empire. As Senior Vice President for Africa and the Middle East at the International Telephone and Telegraph (ITT) Corporation, he gained extensive international experience, solidifying his status as a business titan. By 1988, he was recognized as the International Businessman of the Year. His influence extended further when he was appointed head of the Nigerian Stock Exchange in 1990. Despite his vast wealth, Abiola never forgot his humble beginnings. A philanthropist at heart, he dedicated himself to alleviating the struggles of the less privileged. His generosity and contributions to society earned him the prestigious title of Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land in 1987, effectively making him the Field Marshal of the Yoruba people. Abiola's political aspirations came to the forefront in 1993 when he contested the presidency under the Social Democratic Party (SDP). His campaign was a unifying force in Nigeria's deeply divided political landscape. He won widespread support, including in northern states where his southern candidate's success had once seemed impossible. A week before the election, he participated in the nationally televised debate with his opponent, Bashir Tofa. He faced scrutiny over various issues, including his business interests in the oil sector. Despite these challenges, he emerged victorious in the polls, securing wins in 19 of Nigeria's 30 states. However, his triumph was short-lived. The election, though acclaimed as free and fair, was abruptly annulled by the military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida, who, instead of handing over power, installed an interim national government led by Chief Ernest Shonekan. The move was met with fierce opposition from Nigerians who saw it as a betrayal of democracy. Shonekan's weak administration, lacking both legitimacy and authority, was swiftly dismissed by a Lagos High Court, which ruled it unconstitutional on November 10, 1993. 7 days later, on November 17, 1993, General Sani Abacha took control in a palace coup, ousting Shonekan under the guise of restoring stability. Many, including Abiola himself, initially believed Abacha would correct the injustice of June 12 by reinstating the rightful winner. Instead, Abacha solidified his grip on power, appointing his own ministers, including members of Abiola's camp, in what turned out to be a calculated betrayal. Realizing that his mandate would not be honored, Abiola took matters into his own hands. On June 11, 1994, he addressed thousands at Epetedo, a historic enclave in Lagos Island, delivering a speech that would forever etch his name into the annals of Nigeria's democratic struggle. Abiola spoke with clarity and resolve, denouncing the annulment as an act of naked political armed robbery and accusing the military of plunging Nigeria into an era of political instability and economic ruin. For a year, Chief Abiola had sought diplomacy. He had tried to reason with the military rulers to appeal to their conscience, but their refusal to yield left him with only one option: to take the fight to them with his voice as a weapon. His words were a call to action, urging Nigerians to reject military rule as South Africans had rejected apartheid. He likened their oppression to minority rule, branding Abacha's government as an illegitimate force that must be removed. Abiola was direct, he was unyielding, and he was fearless. But the Abacha regime would not tolerate such defiance. 12 days later, on June 23, 1994, a convoy of over 200 police and military vehicles stormed his residence in Ikeja, led by the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Kumasi. Abiola was arrested and charged with treason. His final recorded words to the BBC that day hinted at his unwavering conviction. He knew what was coming, but he refused to be silenced.
What is happening at your house? Are you being arrested?
I'm being arrested. I'm just going out now with the police.
Hello?
There's a large crowd here, and I was being escorted out to detention by singing the national anthem.
Why are they arresting you?
They are arresting me on an allegation of felony, nameless treason or something like that. They're not doing anything, they're just taking me away. Please let me go. I'm delaying them.
And so where are you now? Are you in your car?
I'm in my car now.
Is it police who are with you in your car, or are they escorted? Are they
Yes, the commissioner of police is in the car with me, and my senior wife is in the car with me.
Why are they letting you talk on the phone to the BBC while they're in the middle of arresting you?
They have come to arrest me, not to arrest my mouth.
You sound very cheerful about it, Chief Abiola.
Of course. It is all all part of democracy here.
And you're happy to go to the police and await whatever charges they're going to file against you?
I'm not in any way disturbed by it. Any sacrifice is in order. If it will bring democracy, peace and prosperity to Nigeria.
Is it possible to talk to the Commissioner of Police who's with you in the car?
I don't know if the Commissioner of Police is authorized to talk. He cannot talk to the press.
What is your advice now to your supporters, many of whom we heard a moment ago?
Well, I told them before I left home to just stay calm. It is very, very important that they stay calm.
So you're appealing for calm. You don't want them to take any direct action in your support?
No.
You still say you're the president of Nigeria, but it's not much good if you're going to be in jail.
Well, Mandela was in jail for 27 years. Kenyatta was in jail. I suppose that is one of the qualifications you need in this part of the world. Don't worry yourself, my friend.
Chief MKO Abiola would spend the next 4 years behind bars. He never lived to see the democracy he fought for. With Abiola's imprisonment, Nigeria entered one of its darkest political eras. The military dictatorship cracked down on opposition voices, arresting activists and even resorting to assassinations. One of the most shocking incidents was the brutal murder of Abiola's wife, Kudirat Abiola, on June 4, 1996. Abiola himself was held in solitary confinement, deprived of adequate medical care. Despite offers from Abacha to refund his campaign expenses in exchange for renouncing his mandate, he refused to betray his cause. While the international community called for his release, the Nigerian government remained unmoved. On July 7, 1998, just as negotiations for his release seemed to be gaining traction, Abiola collapsed and died during a meeting with a US delegation. The official report suggested he suffered a heart attack after drinking a cup of tea. The sudden death of the Yoruba warlord, politician, and businessman sent shockwaves around the world. Though he never ruled, Abiola's sacrifice and struggle ultimately discredited military rule in Nigeria. His legacy as a champion of democracy remains indelible. 6 years after his death, the New African magazine listed him among the 100 greatest Africans of all time. Abiola's life was a testament to resilience, ambition, and a deep-rooted belief in justice. His famous speech encapsulated a solid belief against oppression. He understood that true leadership is not just about holding office, but about fighting for the will of the people. June 12 was more than a political event. It was a symbol of unity, proving that Nigerians could rise above ethnic and religious divisions. Even in death, Abiola's name remains synonymous with democracy, inspiring future generations to stand against tyranny and injustice. Chief MKO Abiola may never have ruled, but in the hearts of millions, he remains the president Nigeria was denied. Abiola's speech was a masterstroke of defiance, strategy, and inspiration. In it, he made 3 key arguments. 1. The legitimacy of his mandate, reminding Nigerians that he had won a fair election using precise figures to reinforce the undeniable truth. 2. The failure of military rule, highlighting the economic devastation and international disgrace brought upon Nigeria by the military, exposing their incompetence and corruption. And finally, a call to action, urging Nigerians to rise, to resist, and to reclaim their power from an oppressive minority. The Epetedo Declaration was not just a speech, it was a battle cry, a moment of truth that shook Nigeria to its core. What made the speech so dangerous? It was not just a declaration, it was an indictment against the Nigerian military, a rallying cry, and a direct challenge to General Abacha's rule. In short, Abiola's speech in June 1994 was a death sentence. However, it made the people see their collective strength, and for that, the military government sought to crush him. Abiola's word sealed his fate, but they ignited a movement that would eventually bring an end to military rule in Nigeria. What happened in those 4 years between his arrest and his mysterious death was the darkest period in post-Civil War Nigeria. However, 30 days before Abiola's sudden death, Abacha would suffer a similar fate on June 8, 1998. You can check out the full story in our next episode.